So we've got St. Patrick's Day just around the corner, and a few months ago we covered a few cases of men who pretended to be kidnapped in order to get out of various situations.
Yes.
And
I vaguely remember this.
There was one that so there's a thing that men do when they're in a whole bunch of trouble and they have no other option. They'll say, hey, you know what I'll do? I'll pretend that I was abducted by terrorists and maybe it'll get me out of trouble.
They do a Fargo.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but on themselves. Yeah, they do a self-Fargo, which is...
Self-Fargo.
I Fargoed myself. Episode
You did a bit of a self-Fargo.
But there was one that I left off because the story was there was just too much there. So I was like, I'm going to shave that one off and save it for St. Patrick's Day because this motherfucker's Irish. And so it's perfect. This story's it's from 2016, but I think it's just fucking wonderful. So this is from the BBC and the Irish Times. We're talking about a man named Kevin McGeever.
Great. Oh, that's a name.
When a bedraggled man appeared at the side of the road in Ireland claiming that he had been abducted, a bizarre tale of fraud and fake kidnapping started to unfold. Kevin McGeever's drenched, emaciated figure lay at the edge of a country road. He wasn't wearing any shoes and had a plastic sheet covering his near skeletal frame.
Whoa.
These are some really good descriptive words they are using.
Hey,
holy shit.
You know, the Irish,
they're really weaving a tale.
I was going to say, the Irish, they are known for...
They are storytellers.
They're known for writing a word or two.
Could spin a yarn.
Oh, they'd be spinning the yarn. Catherine Vallely and a friend were driving past and stopped to offer him a lift. She couldn't help but notice his bushy white beard, sunken eyes, and inch-long yellow fingernails. Oh. He told us that he had been thrown from a van, she said. He looked like a tramp. He looked homeless, and I thought he was just some old man who didn't know what he was saying. So I was just humoring him. Vallely and her friend spotted the lights were still on at the police station in Ballinamore, so she pulled over. So they drove him just straight to the cops, which is, I think, exactly where he didn't want to go.
Yeah, right?
Like, I think he wanted to be taken to someone's home so you would perhaps have an alibi, and then he could kind of work this. McGeever went inside and told the officer on duty that he had been kidnapped by armed men from his mansion in Galway and kept in an underground container for 8 months. And when he took off his hat, the word thief, a misspelling of thief, was written on his forehead.
Thief.
T-I-E-F.
Oh.
I thought you meant teeth like teeth.
That's exactly where my brain went.
Yeah, I like how Jonesy says fanks instead of thanks. Yeah, no. T-I-E-F. So he was sitting there in the mirror trying to write thief on his own head and fucked it up. So
I'm gonna go down and get my teeth.
There's a lot of letters, so it's easy to fuck that
I know, yeah, it's a long word. Yeah.
There's a whole 26 of them.
It happens whenever I write onomatopoeia on my forehead. I always fuck it up. So at first, police had no reason to doubt his account. His partner, Siobhan O'Callaghan, which... perfect Irish name.
It's my favorite. Honestly, that is genuinely my favorite name is Siobhan. I think that's like one of my favorite names.
My favorite is just Americans trying to pronounce it.
Siobhan.
Are you Siobhan? So Siobhan O'Callaghan had reported him missing since June 2012, but cracks soon began to appear in his story. When he was brought to the local hospital for an examination, they noted that he had lost between 70 and 80 pounds in weight, but the doctors didn't notice any great muscle wastage or any damage to his eyesight for a man who claimed to have been underground for 8 months.
P90X, man.
You lost it the right way, guys.
Yeah. He came by it honest.
Yeah, by self-fargoing. That's how you properly lose the weight.
Suffer, but not suffer.
Yeah.
The authorities had even found a witness who said that they had spotted McGeever more than a week before the date of the kidnapping was supposed to have taken place, and they traced his text sent from his phone from Germany, Northern Ireland, and the UK.
So, shit.
Again, if you're going to do crimes, fucking don't take a phone with you. It is literally...
Burners.
Anything.
So he just like kind of hung out and accidentally lost the weight?
Yeah. That's literally what he was doing.
He probably did it on purpose.
He did.
You know, he definitely did it on purpose.
So starved himself but partied. And then
so he felt the walls closing in on him, so in order to make this scam believable, he like lost a bunch of weight, grew out his fingernails, and wrote teeth on his head. So, you know.
That would have been the hardest part for me.
I had a guy approach me in downtown LA who had kill tattooed on his head. He was just out of prison, totally rehabilitated, just wanted $5. Seemed legit.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
sounds
chances if it's in LA, the chances of it being legit are very
He goes,
high.
excuse me, sir. I do have kill tattooed on my forehead. Just letting you know.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he goes. I just got out of
that
prison.
rules.
I'm just trying to get a couple bucks. Don't worry. I've been figured out.
I believe him. I believe
Yeah, he
him.
was very apologetic to me based on how he looked, and you know what? I believed him. Just like this Teef guy, also believe him.
No, because that honestly smells of like not like a murderer, but like like
But a guy who fucked up in his 20s and is now
Yes.
51 and
boom,
has to
that part,
exist.
that part,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I believe that he just got out of prison.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
one-
know about any of the other stuff.
No. And it probably wasn't prison, it was jail overnight.
Yeah.
So the article asks, so why would someone go to such extraordinary lengths to convince the world that they had been kidnapped? In a 30-year career, conning his way across 4 continents,
Wow.
McGeever has claimed to
Whoa.
be many things: a roofing contractor, a Harvard-educated doctor of arbitration, a psychologist.
Wait, like a tree doctor?
No, arbitration, like a lawyer.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's an arborist.
That's like
I got-
a lawn
arborist.
Arborist,
Okay.
yeah, no, arbitration.
See,
He's a
okay.
The
I'm
tree
not
doctor
that
is like a
fucking
lawn care service, I'm pretty sure.
So he's like the guy from The Pretender.
like a horticulturist
Yeah.
or something. Someone
Yeah.
who works at a botanical garden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
like
an arborist.
like conning your way to like working in the Museum of Natural History or something. Like I could see that being okay. Let's move
No,
on.
I know. Hey, no, I'm saying, shout out to all my friends. Dr. Gary Keever, he's an arborist. Patrick Thompson, I know arborists. Okay,
Okay,
Yeah. I know
so-
more arborists than arbitrators.
So
that's
at
for
least,
sure.
so at least you saw where my thought
I get
process
it.
went there.
So you could just pretend you're a
Not
Harvard
stupid,
doctor?
Sam.
If you're in Europe, probably.
Yeah. He also claimed to be a best-selling author and president of a fictional World Trust
How
Bank
do you
in
pretend to be a best-selling author? You can look that up.
Well, he's been doing this since the 70s. So when he was
like pre-internet,
Pre-internet.
he
Oh,
was
he's
doing
like, yeah,
this.
that's why you can't track my sales. And they're like, yeah,
because
makes
I was a
sense.
best-selling author in insert country name here.
Oh, yeah.
He also claimed to be the president of a fictional World Trust Bank in Liechtenstein. So there's been a pattern of deception that began in 1973 when, age 29, he abandoned his first convertible Jaguar sports car at
Whoa.
a Dublin airport and overnight left behind astonished friends in a small unfinished housing development that he'd been building in Kildare.
I love this guy. I'm back on his side. He's just been scamming the hell out of people.
Holy
for
shit!
50 years.
This is like
That's
catch
the-
me if you can shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that is the early 70s. So in the 80s, he was in Australia where he abandoned his Di Tommaso sports car at Sydney Airport in 1985, leaving behind his wife, Valami, and their 2 young daughters, Renee and Chanel.
Good for
Holy
him.
shit!
A luxury 4-bedroom waterfront home in the southern suburb of Karela, and he also left behind at least 5 investors, each of whom had been conned into buying the same roofing business.
I love this detail of them saying what car
He
he
sold a
abandoned at the
roofing business
airport.
to 5 different people.
Yes, he
You know
sold.
what? He
That's a
deserves
hustle.
everything he
Yeah,
gets.
that's a fucking hustle.
I also love that every story with him starts with what luxury car he
Yeah,
left
yeah.
behind at the airport.
What he left at the airport.
Like he wants everybody to know how ballin' is. He's like, I left a Jaguar.
that's
I
his.
left a Mazda."
That's his calling card. It's like
That's the coolest calling card, by the way.
I like how he scammed his own family. He's like, fuck it. I don't have any morals at all. I'll scam my
He's
kids.
like,
what daughters?
Yeah.
I'm out of here, losers.
Look at all these marks just living in the same house as me.
Fucking
Yeah.
idiot.
Enjoy that car before the government takes it. He relocated to Lawrenceville, Georgia, where he claimed to establish a fake bank in Liechtenstein, and he
Wow.
duped 88 of investors across America, Mexico, Canada, Britain, and Ireland to invest $8.8 million into the fake bank. More than $2 million disappeared before the investors could manage to freeze the accounts.
Whoa, whoa,
Cool. Good
whoa.
for him.
That is so.
So he was like,
fucking
I have a
crazy.
fake bank. Do you guys want to put a ton of money in it?
Yes.
And they're like, of course we do.
Yes, yeah,
I'm sick
exactly.
of all these other trustworthy banks.
Yeah,
So a
yeah.
bank that these people didn't see, they were like, yeah, we'll give you $8 million.
Yeah, 100%. And this is one of those
It's
situations.
'cause that was
2023.
like-
I don't trust internet banks now.
I was going to say, well, this is like
Unless I
the,
can go there, I don't
that
trust you with
feels
my
like,
money.
I mean, like that kind of shit feels like very 90s when it was like in vogue to have like a bunch
offshore
of money
stuff?
in in offshore
Oh, yeah.
know Swiss bank accounts, Dominican bank accounts, like all over the fucking world. So like I could very much see very rich stupid people being easily duped into
Yep.
like, oh, a bank in Liechtenstein.
And he has a nice suit. because he put that on when he abandoned his family.
Wait,
Yeah, he pulled up in a sports car.
Wait, you're telling me that Silicon Valley has its own bank?
Yeah, that's right.
Bam.
Wow. Here's $18 billion. The FBI established that during his time in America, McGeever bought himself, among other things, a $67,000 Mercedes and...
Again with the cars and the prices on them.
But then this one's fun. And an $18,000 church organ.
Whoa, whoa.
So this guy just has...
Whoa, okay.
He's sitting in his house.
It's cool because
Yeah.
that has history to probably a ton of people and means something to him, and he just left it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
There's there's got to be a blacklist screenplay of this guy. Like it has to be out there somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
I just like that he lives in Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is like the suburbs of Atlanta,
Yeah.
probably in some track housing, and he's just sitting there like Dracula playing.
I immediately was just like dun 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 boom boom dun dun.
He's a musician, just like the Instagram account.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, calling it back, Sam. Hey.
Honey, come inside. I figured out Fugue in D minor.
Fugue D minor.
I'm smoking Manjuanja and playing Bach. With the FBI hot on his trail, McGeever abandoned his home, sports cars, and second wife, Ginny Nicole Shea.
Any kids?
And no, not with this one.
Damn it.
And went back to Ireland to
Damn it! I wanted more children to have trauma.
I want so many kids to have trauma.
He went back to Ireland to reinvent himself as a property developer. So during the years when Ireland's economy was booming, McGeever sold luxury apartments in Dubai. So again, this is just a string of douchebags that I hate that are getting scammed. So I still don't care.
So he's
Yeah, the
like,
only
I
people
own a
do-
bunch of apartments in Dubai, and people are like, well, let me give you money without even looking at them.
Yeah. Yes.
I do feel
Again,
bad
all
for the
these
family.
people deserve to be robbed.
100%.
Yeah, all these rich fucks deserve to be robbed. I do feel bad for the families that are just being like,
Oh no,
What family? His family?
Yeah, his. I feel bad for the people. The
Yeah. His family,
his
the one where
family.
he leaves a woman and two
And two
children in
kids.
Australia, probably with a bunch of fucking debt.
Yeah, but Joe, she got a cool car for like 2 weeks before the government took it.
That car was taken because that house, he hadn't been paying on it for 2 years.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was
This
already
is what I'm
for
saying.
sure in foreclosure.
I want to know about this. I want to make sure that family was okay.
But-
No,
the-
the only reason you skip the country is because your back is directly against the wall. That house was probably taken the next day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, the woman from Georgia hounded him for like 10
good,
years
good.
to
Oh,
find
yeah,
her.
I bet.
Yeah.
She didn't get shit.
Oh yeah. He was selling luxury apartments in Dubai to hundreds of Irish investors who thought they were buying their dream homes in Dubai. Irish businessman Jim Byrne, who is now based in Dubai, bought 5, but he says the apartments were never handed over to him.
They never existed.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't exist. It was
Wow.
fake.
So that's like if I stood outside of here and was just sold you guys' apartments.
Yes, 100%.
I know
yeah.
somebody that happened to recently.
Wait,
What?
really?
What happened?
Again,
They-
the
Story time.
deserved it.
Story time.
They straight up started dealing with some guy who said he was leasing out a property. He straight up like had access to it, gave him a tour, had all this fake paperwork and
Whoa.
stuff, signed it, gave him a down payment.
Was that here?
Yeah, it was in
Holy
LA.
Shit.
And then found out afterwards it was just some scammer.
Wow.
Yeah, that shit happens.
Good for that guy.
Wow.
You're right. He
That's-
did it. He did it right. He followed the blueprint.
That's so crazy.
Anybody who can pull it off, I'm kind of proud of them.
So,
for
yeah.
stuff like that.
Next time you rent a house or something, make sure you're dealing with a actual person.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
A management company.
Yeah.
So at least 70 million euros passed through McGeever's hands, much of it unaccounted for. He spent 4.5 million buying and refurbishing a mansion in Crawwell, which he named Nirvana.
God damn it. I was so on his side until then.
Oh, you knew he was like, he's going to have lame affect,
Yeah,
of course.
He has a god complex. Let him call it that.
No, he named it after the band. There's,
But, but he would tell you that he didn't, though,
yeah, no, exactly.
Byrne then took his case to an Irish court, and in 2014, McGeever was ordered to pay him 1 million euros. 2 years later, still hasn't received that money.
Oh,
so,
of course.
big shock.
He sent him 3 bad checks.
Yeah. So basically, the media comes to him and they're like, did you do all these scams in America? And he says, there's probably thousands of people that immigrated from Ireland to America called McGeever. Strangely enough, there's a lot of Kevin McGeevers living in America on the East Coast, Arizona, Florida, all over the place. They got me confused with someone else.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Man.
Just a shyster till the
I
end.
100% want to see the movie about this man.
So running
There's
out of
no question.
So running out of places to go, he faked the kidnapping and was charged with wasting police time. So after all of that,
Only crime? Wasting police time? What do you get? A $500 fine?
No.
That he's swindled someone in the courtroom to give him?
the judge gave him a suspended sentence so as not to place further financial burden on taxpayers following a lengthy investigation into the case. So basically, the Irish cops worked overtime to figure out what the fuck was going on. They're like, oh, whatever it was, 70 million euros this guy has interacted with at some point. They're just like, it took a lot of time. Fuck it. Let's just let him go.
Serious, Martin McDonagh, if you're listening,
Right, this is the
please,
next one.
Jesus Christ, this is your next movie. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is Colin Farrell's Oscar right here.
I know.
If you watch the crime shows, the longer they get away with like a murder, the less time they get. It makes no sense, but it's a consistent thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they can't go back and prove that he screwed all these people out all this money in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, no, they absolutely can, but they're just like, they're old cases. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
One of the
50
statute
years.
of limitations on,
Yeah.
on like those kinds of
That's
crimes.
true. Yeah. The judge says if I'd send him to prison, the taxpayer would have to pay for the upkeep to house him, clothe him, feed him. So I'll suspend the sentence for 5 years.
Doesn't make any fucking.
the
This judge was
craziest
definitely
fucking
paid
shit.
the fuck off.
Yeah.
He's living in Nirvana now. That was the
That
trade-off.
judge got one of those cars.
He's like one of those. He's like one of those TikTok judges. That's like,
Yeah, judge, I'll get
Did you walk here?
yeah, that's just like, oh, okay. We're just gonna make that payment very low now because, I'm so sorry. Your boyfriend's an asshole. Okay, I get it.
I
Here you
agree.
go. Oh no.
Oh, I hate that video so much.
As far as I could tell, because I tried to do some research today, that was like 2016. No other news stories about him, so I guess he stayed out of trouble. But
He didn't
fucking
stay out of trouble.
He
He's
changed
selling
his name.
apartments somewhere else right now.
He just hasn't been caught. for the next
well,
thing.
that's the thing. Is
He
that
found a new grift. He found a new. He found a young man named Elvis
or-
Presley. That he's.
Rivers, the grift takes probably 10 years to get
This
going.
is the story of
He's at
Elvis
the
Presley's
uptick right now.
well, what's funny is that basically the only consequences of this is he can never go to Dubai and he can never go to America.
I bet he could sell property in both those countries.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. He did most of these crimes from fucking Ireland.
Yeah.
So, like,
Holy
who gives a
shit,
shit?
dude.
He's in Ireland selling houses in Chicago right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's like, you want a lake home in Wisconsin? I got a bunch of them.
Would you like to see the fattest people you've ever seen in your lives?
Oh, you mean I can't go get my head cut off in the desert? Oh, big fucking loss. So, anyway, happy St. Patrick's Day. That's Kevin McGeever.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Would you like to go to a country where they throw homosexuals off from a building? I don't know where
Or
that
Dubai.
went. That started Irish and that went somewhere fully off. That went off the rails.
Yeah.